I'm getting money, you see me. Stack it up to the ceiling. If you're looking for me, you know just where to find me. I'm on a pod with TC, with TC. Oh, I'm on a pod with TC, with TC.
All right, welcome. This is Financial Literacy with TC. I am your boy TC. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me on the pod. There's so many podcasts out in the world you guys could have chose to listen to, but you always choose to come back to mine, and I'm so appreciative of that. Today, we are on location at Infinity Bar, 2612 Brownsville Road up in Carrick, PA. If you have not stopped at this location, you definitely need to do so. We are going to be having a little announcement at the end of the show, so stay tuned. And as always, subscribe, like, and share Financial Literacy with TC. This man sitting next to me is very special because he is a father, husband. He's also a realtor. He's a real estate investor. He also has a background working with the Housing Authority of Pennsylvania. He's also a board member and a treasurer for the new hot up-and-coming nonprofit called Realty Thinking. This is, for those who don't know, the infamous, popular Titus Morris. Man, I appreciate you joining me, brother.
I love that intro, man.
Hey,
I appreciate that.
And honestly, bro, I definitely could have went back to your college.
Yeah.
Did you serve?
Yeah.
You serve? Shout out to people who serve. But man, I just want to thank you, man. I'm gonna toast to you and all your success, everything you've been doing, and I appreciate you gracing me, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Cool. So let's get right into it, man.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I was excited to have you on is just everything you've been doing in the community, on top of what you do from a business standpoint. Financial literacy is about Black representation. We talk about finances, and nobody embodies success, at least this past year that I've come across, is more than you, just with everything you're doing as far as real estate, everything you're doing with this beautiful bar that we are sitting in, and just every other aspect of your, personal life, business life, and just how you make it mesh. So when I bring people on, you are one of the people who was on, I'll say probably top 10. Just because
top 10.
Top 10. Just because I had known about you for years prior to this previous year, but our relationship really started to mold over the past year as we were in some of the same rooms, know some of the same people, and then we started to connect. Our wives met and things of that nature, so it really started to grow. But long story short,
we spent New Year's together too.
Yes, for sure. Yep. and who you spend New Year's with is very sacred. Because you're welcoming all your new blessings that you want, you know what I mean? So that means something.
I like
that. So but all that being said, man, I want to know your why for everything that you do and what makes you what pushes you to do everything you've been doing and at a successful rate.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, not to be cliche about it, but honestly, my family. I mean, my wife and my kids, like, specifically.
Right.
Everything I do it with them in mind.
Right.
But from a personal standpoint, as a kid, I mean, I think I was going through a lot at a young age where, I don't want to necessarily call it depression, but I went through a lot at a young age, like 15, 16 years old in high school.
Right.
And it got to a point where, like, I had to tell myself, like, who you're going to be. Like, at that time, I was working, I was playing sports, I was doing all of these things. But then I look up and I'm looking at my community, I'm looking at my parents, I'm looking at, like, my dad worked 2 and 3 jobs, my mom going to school, working and everything. I'm just like, damn, is that going to be my life?
Right.
Like, I can't have that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, at that age, I'm like, everything that I do, I'm going to go hard at it. Everything that I do, is I gotta be the best at everything.
Right.
So, and I from that point on, from, like, I guess the 10th, 11th,
12th
grade on, I said everything that I do gotta be, like, top tier. I can't be regular because I see what a regular life is like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Not trying to say that I'm not, like, a grounded person, but just to say that I see what mediocrity gets you.
Right.
I see what poverty gets you.
Right.
I already experienced that.
Right.
At a young age.
Right.
Let me see what
the other side
else is out there. Yeah. I mean, but honestly, that's what it was.
No, and honestly, what I love about that is it brings credence to my thought process. Whereas let's reach our youth early, because if you were saying at your age you had that mentality, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, where you started to see your surroundings and you started to think differently. Now, if we can pour into our youth at an early age, hopefully their surroundings will breed a similar mindset, and they start saying, you know what, this isn't how I want to be when I'm 30, 40, 50, 60 years old. So I love that, man.
And I think a huge part of that, and that's why I love real thinking too, is because not only do you have to want it, but then you have to see it to know that it's achievable.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? That it's attainable.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So since that hits on where we were trying to go, and again, we are going to get into Infinity and everything. We want to give you guys a little teaser. We don't want to jump right into the goods, because we got something special planned for y'all in September. But Realty Thinking, for those who don't know, is an organization that Malik Potter started. Shout out to him. He basically had the concept of Realty Thinking is committed to leveraging real estate education as a vehicle for fostering financial literacy, promoting mental wellness, and economic empowerment with the marginalized community. Sorry. And when you try to read out your peripheral, it ain't that great. So with all that being said, he brought me and several of our other friends and board members on to the organization to really help push this narrative and really make real estate investing something that people in the community who really want to share it, get into that lane, they have the ability to learn and be able to make their decisions on how they go about it. Because there's so many, me and you, we do a ton of networking events, and I know you probably get the same. Hey, I want to get into real estate investing, but I don't know how to do it. So when I saw the opportunity, and I don't want to speak for you, but when it was brought to my attention to be a part of the board, it was because I often get that. And while, I know a little bit about it, I don't know everything. So when it was a collaboration of us getting together with you yourself, who have however many properties you got, and just others who are have a legal background, or they have the title company like Malik does, they background in lending like I do, or Tamara does. It was really just something I was like, okay, I need to be a part of this, because this is something the community needs. We're thirsting for. So what drew you to want to be a part of the organization?
Honestly, whenever Malik call, I answer.
Okay,
that's number one. Malik is one of those guys, like he's young like us relatively, and he got a lot going on for himself. So when he called, I'm gonna answer. That's number one. Number two is because I didn't really know going into it what it was fully about. I just said Malik asked me to do something, so I'm going to do it. But once he gave me the outline, gave me the showed me different things. We got a vast Google Drive at this point.
Right.
Once I started digging into the documentation, and to know that he already had it going before, and he just kind of needed a little bit more push. That's what kind of, because people ask me to do stuff and join stuff all the time, but it's like, what have you already done?
Correct.
You know what I mean? Don't come at me with like
a half-cocked idea.
Right. Like, it wasn't an idea. It was already something that he was doing. He already had events, already had people and pages and things like that in place. So it was
that impressed me too.
Yeah, that was impressive. And then thirdly, the impact that I thought it could make on the actual community. So that's probably, I'm saying that's third, like whenever, like time wise, but really that's number one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Impacting the youth, helping the community see, through this real estate lens, and as far as like trying to attain wealth within the community, a disadvantaged community at that. So I'm all for that. My whole life, outside of my family and myself, that's what pretty much my life has been dedicated to. And then number four, we got a kind of like a rock star board membership.
Right.
I mean, like, these are people that are like
They doing
listen,
it.
I mean,
Right.
obviously including yourself,
Right.
you know, but like they're doing it.
Yeah, and no, that speaks to because I did the same thing. I was like, oh, he got
Mhm.
Titus.
Yeah,
He got Rob.
he put a good cast together.
Yeah. So and that brings to fruition what I was thinking when you did your real estate mastery class, which I attended. I We got more to come.
We got more to come.
Okay, so real estate mastery class. If you have not attended one, you definitely need to.
Sure.
At Infinity Bar, because so when I attended, we had Mogul Mo, we had Kevin and Leslie Talley. Shout out to them.
David,
David McGowan, just a plethora of people who are killing it in their individual lanes. And you and your wife Ivy, shout out to Ivy. You guys were really the spearhead who I looked to because I was like, oh, you really broke it down in a way I had never seen. As I'm starting to want to enter the game. And it was like, oh, they're giving all the secret sauce. And I'm like, oh, this is worth the money. So just talk about that event and just how that came to be.
I mean, honestly, we throw networking events here at the bar
all the time.
But we get people to say, hey, this is cool being here with you guys and networking and partying or whatnot, but how do we really get involved? And it's not, I know people say, well, you can get the information off of YouTube or in a book, but it's different when you can call a person.
Absolutely.
It's different whenever you can actually sit down with someone and run your real numbers. And get real perspective on what's going on in your market specifically.
Absolutely.
So I think that's what kind of drove us to do it. Number one. Number two, we do have coaching. I don't really put it out there. I got a couple people that are doing really well, and I will start putting that out soon. And they will too. But I'm not gonna say I'm a shy person, but I'm just a person that's like trying to put the work in. Like I don't necessarily post a whole lot, or
you're not looking for all the exposure, notoriety in that sense. Yeah.
But in one sense, I'm happy that we did the master class too, because I know people left with way more information than they thought that they were going to get.
Absolutely.
I mean, like,
I'm like, oh, they showing deals?
like real deals.
Yeah,
that's what I'm actually did.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I'm like,
you know what I'm saying? Like real numbers, real deals.
Right.
I'm pulling out my mortgage calculators. I'm pulling out deal analyzers.
Right.
I'm pulling real comps in real time.
Right.
Like the whole thing. It's not just like a little like, oh, I'm gonna just show you. And no, this is what's actually going on right now. This is stuff that we actually did in real time. And if you like, because people actually became mentees after that, and they're doing deals, they're like, you know what I'm saying.
And I'll share this because my biggest takeaway was, you guys had PowerPoint presentations and all that, but it was the things you guys were saying between the action where you're talking about how to deal with contractors, do's and don'ts. Those are the things that I think were key, because it's like, bro, there's so many people out here doing it and they're taking their lumps. But if you got somebody who's pouring into you, giving you, hey, bro, don't do this, don't do that, that's way more valuable. And then back to your point about, you can get this information on YouTube, yada, yada, yada. It's disingenuous because, one, a lot of times it's not applicable to where you live. The money's different in parts of the country. And then also, you're not getting a full scope. You're not getting the negatives about what's going on. Social media is designed to reel you in with all the positivity of how much money you can make and all that, but it doesn't really give you the true ups and downs, ebbs and flows. And that's what I enjoy.
And I think too, for me, the biggest thing is if I attach my name to your name, I'm gonna do everything in my power for you to be successful.
Correct.
And the people on YouTube or the long distance coach or whoever, they're not necessarily going to do that. When I go outside and when we turn this camera off, I'm still going to be me. And I'm still going to be on Brownsville Road. I'm still going to be going to my spots. I'm still going to be Titus from the north side. But now I got this information and I want you to have it. But here's the other thing too, because people was asking me like, well, why are you charging for the information and da-da-da-da-da? And my response to that is, well, and because my wife was like, maybe we should do a free one, or maybe. But here's the thing: more people came to the paid one than the free one. Number one. Number 2 is
I came to the paid one, and I like free stuff, but I'm going to the paid one.
But the biggest thing is like if you come and you pay for information, that's a down payment on the next thing that you're going to do.
Correct.
Like that's an investment.
Correct.
On the next thing. I'm not wasting my time, and you're not wasting your time.
Right. And see, I don't get that because when you look at our white counterparts, and I'll be very intentional with the statement I'm about to make. I know I know literally people who pay thousands upon dollars to go to the DoubleTree or the Hilton or whatever to sit in front of those seminars and get game, but they don't get game how we got game that day. It was intentional. It was, bro, I could ask you anything and you was going to give me the sauce. Yeah. And so for me, just that alone was worth $200. Now, and also if you can't buck up to cover the information and education you're going to get when you go to college, when you go to any of these trade schools, unless you're getting in there for free, it costs some money. So the education part costs some money. And if you can't foot the bill for the education, then that means you're not ready for what you're trying to undertake. So I was like, yeah, even if you do a free one, I'll probably come, but I'm not feeling that I'm at the level I need to be ready to go out here and try to do what you guys are doing. Yeah. If I'm not pouring, if I ain't got the money to get into the room, I ain't got the money to carry this thing on.
And then my last point to that, and I'll let it go, is that we were able to weed out the audience that we didn't want.
Right.
That give us a discount audience.
Right.
Because that's not how the world works. Like,
right.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, and I hate to like say it like that, but like, you know, you gotta kind of, you know, our people specifically gotta get out of like kind of like the handout mode.
Right.
Like if you want something, save your money, go to work, save your money, and invest in it. That's it.
Right.
Like, there's no shortcuts in life.
Right.
Like, you got to put in work. Even after you leave here, you have to still put in work.
Right.
Like that, and I think that's my advantage in life is that I'm not afraid of the work that it takes to do anything.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, and that's a great transition because the next thing I want to talk about is, so we touched on realty thinking for those who have it. That's where you want to pour in to get your free education. And what we're doing here is, and I'll have it, we'll have the link in the bio section. We are doing a $25 gift card for you to enter and to win the $25 gift card. As long as you get on our mailing list, and all you have to do is get on the link and be able to sign in, put your information in, because we're going to start our workshops very soon to help people get into real estate investing. So if you want the free, this is how you do that. You'll get it to our link. Once we do the drawing, whoever we pull will be able to get a $25 gift card. But the real win will be you're tapped in with realty thinking to be able to get your education up. So that way, if you want to get in real estate investing, you have all the tools and resources to be able to do so via conservatorship, via sheriff sale, via land banking. We're going to have a ton of resources, a ton of education, a ton of financial literacy. So it's really just about you getting connected with the right people, so we can help you elevate to whatever heights and levels you want to get to. So definitely be on the lookout. Hopefully you're the lucky winner. So let's get back to the bar.
Okay.
So I had the pleasure and the honor of being a guest bartender for Realty Thinking.
Yeah, and you did a good job.
I appreciate it.
You did a good job too.
I got my ramp certification, and while I knew what I was getting into, I didn't really know what I was getting into because I was nervous. I really didn't know that. Yeah, I can talk to people. That's what I do. Yeah. But I don't want to mess nobody's drink up.
It's work.
It's work. It's work. And while we made some money, I enjoyed it. I was able to tell people about the organization. Yeah. It was really great to be able to just experience that. And I'm looking forward to doing it again. However, I know you've had other, because you guys at the bar, you guys do a lot of different events and networking opportunities. Feud, I remember you had R&B night. Yeah. Every day is themed.
Yeah.
How do you guys how do you guys come up with the concepts, the thoughts, the guest bartenders that you have had previously? Is there anyone that's your favorite? Just give us a little insight of the creativity behind
look,
what Infinity's trying to do.
I don't have favorites.
Okay.
Okay. I can't do that.
I got you.
But what I can say is honestly, like, I got a team. Yeah. I mean, and somebody else was saying this to me, like, it seemed like it's like things come easy to you, but I'm like, well, honestly, it ain't even me.
Right.
It's the people that I got around me.
Right.
So, like my wife, she's Ivy.
Shout out to Ivy.
Bless her heart, because that lady, she works hard.
Yeah.
Like, she works hard. Like,
absolutely.
So she's really the one coming up with the concepts a lot of times. We got the ladies' night tonight.
Yep. Ladies' night.
Ladies' night tonight. Well, this
one airs on Monday.
Actually, ladies' night will be every month. So we'll have it on a second Friday every month. Right. But anyways, she's the one that's really doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Right. I'm just kind of like quarterbacking a lot of situation. I also got an assistant. Right. Stosh was like,
shout out to Stosh.
Bless her too, because she's like a rock star too.
Right.
She came on and she's made my life a lot easier.
Right.
And I try to tell her that every day.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for that. Yeah. And then as far as the bar specifically, Chandler, he's our manager.
Yeah.
So
shout out to Chandler.
Shout out to Chandler. Chandler is a beast. Like, he pours drinks, he cleans up, he manages scheduling, right? He books events, hosts, DJs, all these different things. Now he's doing it, but you know, I'm also helping out. My wife is also helping out, and then after Chandler, we also got the bartenders. Right. So the bartenders are also we got some, and we just hired a couple more young ladies that will. I'm excited for this. So for what's to come. We got some stuff on the schedule, but I don't want to throw nothing out yet. But,
I got you.
But honestly, I mean,
you gotta show up, or you gotta hit up Infinity or Infinity Bar, Hookah and Bar.
Infinity
Bar and Hookah Lounge.
Yes.
Pardon my mistake. Yep. So Infinity Bar Hookah Lounge on Facebook. But honestly, where you need to start.
Honestly, it's the whole team. Right. It's the whole team. They're all pushing it. And here's the thing: as a business owner too, we're like, me and my wife. We're open to events. We're open to different concepts. We're open to different ideas. So if our door's not closed, if our bartenders or whoever really comes with an idea, as long as it's feasible, and it's safe and it's in line with what we're doing here.
I love that.
We're open to it.
I love that. And honestly, man, that's a perfect segue, because let's get in. I'm tired of waiting.
What's up?
Let's get into what we got planned for September. So just the backstory.
Okay.
You broached me with the concept of, we had came off of a season where we were really doing networking events. We were doing a lot of great things with having people come in and learn about what's going on in different topics. And you were like, you know what? Let's have something for Infinity Bar.
Yeah, man.
And, I am going to give credit to where credit's due. Shout out to Brandon Rice for coming up with
for sure.
Talk About It Tuesday.
Thank you, Brandon.
So, shout out to Brandon Rice, Mr. Rice. And that's so what we got coming up for September 10th, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to y'all. We have Talk About It Tuesday, hosted by me, TC. Yeah. We are going to be right here in Infinity Bar. I'm going to say it again. 2612 Brownsville Road, Carrick. Stop in. We are going to be diving into just networking conversations. And I thought about this a lot last night when it was like, you know what? What can we do to be a little different than what we've seen with Motivational Mondays, Wealth Wednesdays? And it was like, Talk About It Tuesday. I love the bar. I love the atmosphere. It is really, it's the new spot.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I thought about was obviously we want to have conversation. Obviously we want to talk about what's going on in society, but we also want to let's infuse a little bit about how we can do personal development.
Yeah.
And what I mean by personal development is a lot of times people in our network and circles that come in here, they're not just patrons of the bar.
Yeah.
They are business owners, they're entrepreneurs, they're looking to elevate in their education. Yeah. So let's really work on personal development. Yeah. So I'll give the first thing we're thinking about for September 10th. You'll have the flyer coming soon. It is going to be, we know it's a political year. We have, our candidates. I'm big on, let's talk about what's going on, because a lot of business owners and a lot of people who are in, we care about taxes. We care about everything that's going on. Let's have conversations centered around that. And one of the biggest concepts I want to talk about is, can you be, from a personal development standpoint, can you work with somebody and have collaboration when they have different points of views from you? So one of the things I want to do is, I think it's the presidential debate that night. Right, it is. Yeah. Can you listen and learn from somebody who has a different perspective, a different opinion, but still want to be able to do, because business is business. I don't care what we talking about. Money is money. Yeah. So, and I've done it in the past where I've had to work with people and deal with people who have different political views or different thoughts about different things. But can I push that aside and still be able to, but they got the bag that I need. Can I push that aside and still collaborate with them? Not saying that you have to, but can you, and I'm trying to phrase this right.
It's really about how do you navigate that.
Correct.
If you can.
Because not saying you got to work with everybody, but I
don't want to necessarily dive into the topic because I know we're going to do that.
I got you.
But that's a good.
I think that's deep.
Yeah.
I thought about that.
That's deep.
I thought that's deep because let's give an example. Let's say you have the opportunity to collab with somebody who has a different political view than you. They're offering you $100,000 contract, 6 figures, whatever, Would you be able to know what their, affiliation is and what they believe in, yada, yada, yada? Yeah. Could you put that to the side and be able to still go after and build a relationship? Because I think we get into this notion with the cancel culture that, I can't work with them, or I'm not dealing with them because of what they believe in. I don't care what they believe in, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's, now obviously there's other factors that go into it. Hey, is this a good person? Is this some, like, all money ain't good money? I get all that. Yeah, for sure. But there's sometimes where we get too caught up and obsessed with somebody else's differences that we can't see that, this still might be advantageous for me, but I just don't want to mess with them because of their political views. Yeah. Now, if that's your hard stance, I'm not going to be like, oh, okay, nah. But I do think it's realistic for us to start thinking about, I'm not going to necessarily let that be the end all be all to whether I want to work with them or not. So while we don't want to dive deep in it, that's kind of my thought, and I just want to know what you think about that.
I'm gonna have something to say on the 10th. Okay, but honestly, I mean, my standpoint is, as long as it's moral, legal, ethical,
right?
I can work with you if it makes sense and it's mutually beneficial.
Right.
That's all that matters to me. I don't gotta like you personally.
Right.
I don't gotta like you. I don't gotta like your political views.
Right.
You could be, full opposite of me.
Right.
But legal, moral, ethical.
Right.
And mutually beneficial to the situation. Honestly, I can do business with pretty much anybody, as long as they're not, I think everything falls in line with the moral, legal, ethical.
Yeah.
So, as long as those things aren't, as long as it's not even touching like a gray area of those things, I can do, because there's people that I've done business with already that I don't necessarily like.
Like, oh God, but
like that person is a little weird or a little off or a little this and that.
Right.
But I think that that's something that is only necessarily a problem like in the Black community. I don't see our like white counterparts having these types of issues.
Absolutely.
And matter of fact, they don't. a lot of times they don't like each other in business.
Right.
But they'll, you know, if it makes sense, it makes sense.
Right.
And that's all that matters to me. You might be blocking your blessings.
Right.
You know, because you're not gonna like everybody. And here's the thing, everybody's not gonna like you either.
Right.
I know there's people that's just maybe I just rubbed them the wrong way. I don't know.
Right.
But you know, if it makes sense, it makes sense.
Right. And so we're gonna leave it there.
And if not, it don't.
Right. We're gonna leave it there. So if you have an opinion on the topic, all I want you to do is show up September 10th. What we thinking? 6 p.m.
Yeah. 6,
okay, yep. 6 p.m. There's gonna be happy hour specials. We'll have that all out to you. All different food specials.
We'll get the flyer out.
We'll get the flyer out, but we hopefully we got your wheels spinning to make you want to attend. So look out for that. Bring your opinions, your thoughts. The goal is to have topics centered around critical thinking skills, personal development. Obviously, we want to give wealth secrets, but we want to really emphasize the networking. I want you coming to let's talk about it Tuesdays with the intentions on bettering yourself. Yeah, there's going to be opportunity to network. There's going to be opportunity to collab, but I really want you to work on personal development. So that's how we're going to look to be different than some of the other events that are out there. We want to really hone in on personal development. We're going to have business owners, entrepreneurs. We're going to have people who are experts in their fields. So we really want to highlight what you guys can take from an event and come out better and have some hookah and some drinks while we're doing it. Like relaxed atmosphere, a vibe, and we just going to make it work. So if you're not on Infinity Bar and Hookah Facebook, like, subscribe, and share. Definitely tap in. Titus Morris is going to be here. Financial Literacy with TC. You know I'm hosting, so you know it's going to be lit. So Titus, before we get out of here, man, is there anything just from?
Man, I feel like we ain't talking about it.
Oh really?
I feel like we ain't do too much. But I gotta come back.
We gotta leave them wanting more.
Okay.
I mean, is there anything you want to anything you want to dive in before we let people see us on September 10th?
No, I mean I definitely got to come back on. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure.
But no, I mean just stay tuned for what we got next. Infinity. We got a lot of stuff planned going into the fall, especially with the football season. We got a lot of events. Like, do I put that out there?
See, I'm trying to leave them one more.
We got some stuff planned that the city really has been asking for.
Okay.
Like we got a lot of stuff planned.
You know, we got the draft in 2026.
We do got the draft in 2026, but I'm talking about near future.
Near future.
I'm talking about September, October. We got a lot of stuff planned here. So just follow us, Infinity PGH on Instagram.
Yes.
And Infinity Bar and Hookah Lounge on Facebook. My personal page is king.titus on Instagram, and obviously Titus Morris on Facebook. So just stay tuned. We got a lot going on with the real estate, with the bar.
Yes.
We got a whole lot of stuff. And
everything's going to be in the drop-down description, so you can tap in with all the information Titus just laid out. Mm-hmm. The goal is for you guys to tap in, really. We definitely could have talked about more. I ain't going to hold you.
A whole lot.
But my thought process was, let's give him a little sample.
Because we gave him realty thinking.
Yeah.
We gave him the bar a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit of the mastermind.
I'm like, we literally could be here for a couple hours if we dived into everything you're doing. And if you're like me, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. Yeah, I like to build relationships. Yeah. I like to build the relationship me and you are building. And the goal is to be able to tap in with people. Because a lot of times when I'm doing my workshops that I do, I give people all my personal information. Shoot, my cell phone number is probably everywhere. And it gives that sense of whoever really is serious, they're gonna reach out to me. Yeah. If they're not, they not. That's kind of the vibe I want to give with this is, if y'all really want to learn more about how you can kill it in real estate or how you can God forbid, I want to open a bar one day. You have access to this, man. But if we give you all the sauce on one episode, we doing a disservice to you.
Can I say one more thing
absolutely.
with the bar? The schedule is filling up, but if you have an event, a party, whatever, it could even be a baby shower, whatever you want to do. If you want to have something here at Infinity, we got a huge space. We got 2 separate bars. So tap in. You already got the Instagram. You already got the Facebook. DM us. Let me know what you want to do. If you got a party you want to plan, whether you want to do it with us or on your own, let us know.
Get that dark game in, boy.
Yeah. We got a lot of specials. DJs tap in,
yes.
Hosts tap in, promoters tap in. DM me. Let me know what's going on.
Yes. And that is Titus Morris, Infinity Bar. You see the sign. And this is Financial Literacy with TC. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. As always, I appreciate you guys. Financial Literacy with TC on YouTube, on every other podcast you guys can think of. This is your boy TC. I appreciate you. We're out of here.
I'm getting money, you see me. Stack it up to the ceiling. If you're looking for me, you know just where to find me. I'm on a pod with TC.